So today I have my favorite concealers that I wanted to share with you. And here I have my top 5 favorite ones. I'm a huge concealer girl, and it's a step that I could never skip in my face routine because I have so many acne scars from my first pregnancy. I haven't tried every concealer out there, but I think I've tried a decent amount, and these are my favorites. So for the first concealer, this is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. So this is in the color Custard, and it has a sponge tip applicator. Coverage is medium to full, and it is buildable. Whenever I do layer it, sometimes it doesn't get cakey at all, and it has a soft matte finish. So the Custard is the closest one that I could find that matches my skin tone color. So this is a great job concealing under eye circles, and I like to use this on large areas that I want to conceal, like redness around my cheeks, around my nose. I personally don't like using this for like on the spot acne and blemishes, because I don't know, I don't really like using liquid for that. I like using the stick concealer. I do have this also in a lighter color, I think it's vanilla, and for that I use it for just brightening purposes. That's why I got it in the shade lighter. This applies very smoothly, blends very nicely, and it doesn't settle into fine lines. So I've already applied this, but let me just show you what I do. So I mainly use this on my cheeks and around the nose, and to conceal my under eye, not to brighten. I just like to tap this with my finger. You can't really tell the difference because I already have it on. Another favorite concealer of mine is of course my Bobbi Brown, and this is a stick concealer in the color Sand. I love how this is really small. It's maybe like the size of my index finger. So it's great to take when you're traveling and just on the go touch-ups. This is my favorite concealer, I think, out of all the ones that I'm going to show you today. And I've been using this for like 5-6 years. Love the formula and texture of this concealer. It's not too drying where it will sit on dry patches, and it's not too moisturizing where it will like melt off or slide off. This has full coverage. I literally just put it on the spot where I have the blemishes and acne scars, and I blend it in with my finger, and it blends so nicely, and it just settles on there and it stays on all day, except whenever I'm like sweating or something, it'll kind of rub off, but it's easy to touch up. Days when I don't have really severe dark circles, I can get away with just using this to cover up my mild under eye dark circles. The texture is creamy enough to apply on my under eyes, but if you have really dry skin, I suggest you don't use it for under eye and just blemishes. So I'm not sure if you could see in the camera, it washes it off, but I have this big red zit in the middle of my eyebrows. So all I do is just dab this on and then pat it with my ring finger. This matches my skin color perfectly, and as you know, Bobbi Brown, her products all have like a slight yellow undertone, so it's perfect. So this is definitely my holy grail concealer and my favorite one to carry around with me, since I could use it for my under eyes, acne scars around the nose, and everything. Moving on, another favorite of mine is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and it looks like this. This one, it does have a pump, which does have its pros and cons. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, I pump out too much product, so I end up wasting it. This is in the color NC20. For MAC, I'm in between NC15 and NC20, but NC15 is a little too light, so I got it in NC20, which if I were to use it for like under eye brightening purposes, I would get NC15. But for concealer, I use NC20. Out of the 5 concealers, I think this is the heaviest, but it has the fullest coverage. I don't really use this as a everyday concealer because I feel like it's a little heavy, but it has the best, like, fullest coverage. I do use this whenever I'm getting photographed, or there's a special event, or for my wedding clients also, and just days when I know I'm going to have makeup on morning till night. So as it says, Pro Longwear, it is very long lasting. I apply a very thin layer, but you could always apply more layers and build it up if you want even more coverage. And it's pretty moisturizing and it doesn't settle into fine lines. Whenever I do use this, I make sure to moisturize my skin and apply eye cream. And then I put this on and then I like to set it with powder. So this is also a great concealer to use to apply on your under eye and acne, redness, and around the nose. The newest concealer out of the 5 is this one, which is now one of my favorites also, and this is the Lancome, I'm not sure how to spell it, Effacernes, Effacernes Waterproof Under Eye Concealer. And this is in the color Porcelain. And this comes in a small tube. For this under eye concealer, I like to mainly use this for brightening purposes. That's why I got it in the shade lighter in Porcelain. For my Lancome foundations, I usually use light buff, but since I wanted to brighten up the eyes a little bit, I went a shade lighter, so I got Porcelain. Coverage, I would say, is probably about medium, but you could always build it up. And it has a soft matte finish. This is the concealer that I have under my eyes today, and it just brightens up the area, making me look more younger and awake. I don't really suffer from severe dark circles. I have like mild to moderate. So this does a great job concealing, and I just apply one thin layer at first and then I go back and add a little bit more to the darkest area. This is waterproof and it's water resistant, so it's good if you know you're going to be out in the sun and sweating or even crying for like wedding days. I already applied it under my eyes today, so you won't be able to tell the difference, but I'm just going to show you. I get a little amount and then on my ring finger, and then the dark areas I like to layer it one more time, so I just gently dab it. You have to be very gentle with this area, and it instantly brightens that whole area. I just love the finish and how it doesn't get into the crease. It's also very long lasting. If you have very bad under eye circles, I suggest that you use some kind of a corrector. Like sometimes I like to use the salmon color correctors to get rid of the dark color, and then I'll put this on top. This also applies very smoothly, blends very nicely, and it sets like as soon as you put it on. So the last concealer that I want to show you is a drugstore concealer, because I find that some people only like to use drugstore products. So out of the drugstore concealers that I've tried, I think this one did work the best. And of course, it's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Spot Corrector. And I got it in the color Fair Light. I think the applicator is pretty cool, this ball thing. It applies and blends out the product really nicely, but sometimes I feel like bacteria can like grow on it. So this does work great for the under eyes, around the nose, redness and all that. It doesn't really brighten for me, but it has really nice coverage. But sometimes I feel like it's a little too drying, so just depending on my skin condition, but this is the best drugstore that I have tried. So that was all for my current favorite concealers. Please let me know down in the comment box what your favorite concealers are, because I would love to try out more like different concealers out there. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!